Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today I'm at Orr Ford in Stonewall, Louisiana, and my friends here at the dealership have loaned me this 2020 Ford Ranger. We're going to talk about what's new and what you can expect if this is something you want to pick up. What are the benefits? What's the payload? How much can it tow? And how much horsepower is under the hood? And believe it or not, the transmission that's in this truck, if you don't already know, might be a little bit of a surprise. If you ever owned a Ford Ranger before this current generation came out, tell me about it. Tell me in the comments, what were your experiences? What did you like? What did you not like? Would you rather have one of those older Rangers of years gone by compared to this one? Do you still have one? I know I have a personal friend who's had a car featured here on Vehicle Visionary who owns a Ford Ranger. I'm not sure what year that one is, but I know he does own one. So let's talk a little bit about what's changed from 2019 to 2020. As far as features available within the truck itself, there are a few little minor tweaks, not a whole lot. The big change, or the big addition, I should say, something that wasn't available previously, is found right here. It's the FX2 off-road package now available on these Rangers. And I already did my test drive, and I can tell you I was very impressed with the acceleration of this truck. It's got a decent amount of horsepower, and it's going to definitely do you well if you plan to take it off-road or into the backwoods or whatever your situation may be. It's going to do well. I like the fact that this truck is larger than previous generations of Rangers, more of a mid-sized truck now. That's what it is, instead of a smaller truck like the Rangers used to be. And it is a little more narrow than the F-150, so there can be some advantages to that. If you're looking for a truck with the versatility of the truck and the ability to haul things and maybe tow something that's somewhat light, the max towing capacity of the Ranger is 3,500 pounds, this would be a very good option for you. So let's talk price on the Ford Rangers. There are obviously multiple trim levels and a lot of options available. This is the XLT that we're looking at, and of course this XLT does have the FX4 off-road package, and depending on what you buy, you will spend between roughly $24,000 to upwards of about $36,000 on your Ranger. I do like the overall look of this truck. It looks nice. It has a nice stance. The body lines are nice. You can see just by the hood itself here that it's not just a flat hood. It has some character to it. We'll put it that way. Nice looking grille. You've got some tow hooks down here and even some fog lights down here on the bumper, so when you're off the road at night or early in the morning and need that extra light, that's going to be available to help you out. And here under the hood is the 2.3 liter EcoBoost. It puts out 270 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque. The truck is rather quick. It accelerates very well, as you'll find out on our test drive later on. And what was I meaning when I said you might be surprised about the transmission that's in this truck? It's a 10-speed automatic. Not exactly what you might expect in this particular size of truck, but that's what you get. And the truck does run very, very well. One note that I want to mention here, if you watch me on a regular basis, you probably already know what it is. But here under the hood, I like the fact that you have the shocks that automatically raise the hood on the Ranger. Always added value, always a great benefit to just be able to open the hood and just let it raise on its own. It stays up on its own until you're ready to shut it, instead of having to actually manually hold it with the little stand that some of these vehicles have. That's a nice feature to have on any vehicle. And like I said, you have a lockable tailgate. You can lock it with the remote. There is also a key hole right here. You can use that to lock or unlock depending on what the situation is or what you wish to do. The payload of this truck is 1,609 pounds up to as much as 2,128 pounds. And like I said, it will tow up to 3,500 pounds. Now, it does not have a dampened tailgate, but I just want you to notice, I'm doing that with my finger. It's a super light tailgate, so no worries there. You really don't need a dampened tailgate necessarily with it being as light as it is. So you do have a sliding rear window. This particular model doesn't have a power sliding rear window, but it does have a sliding rear window. Tie downs in the bed as well. So Overall, this is a very, very versatile truck, and it truly will help you out. It's not meant to be a super duty, but it will still get the job done for smaller, lighter jobs as far as towing and hauling. And here in the back seat of the Ranger, obviously things have changed over the years from the original several generations of the Ranger. This is a little bit more space, even though I realize, yes, there were extended cab Rangers. There were also some four-door Rangers, and I'll try and put a picture of one of those up on the screen if that may not be something you have seen before. But this one is a true quad cab here. You can seat 5 people in this truck. The seats raise up. Everything you need to change a tire, if you need to do that, this truck does come with a spare tire mounted underneath the bed. All the tools for changing that, the tire iron and extensions and everything you need is located right here underneath the seat. And there are some storage compartments under there as well. You have a fold-down armrest in the middle with a couple of cup holders in there, and most certainly really a couple of things here on the back of the console, the center console for the front, that your backseat passengers in previous generations of Rangers wouldn't have likely even thought of, and that's 2 USB ports and a power outlet. I guarantee you nobody ever thought about having a power outlet in their Ranger in years gone by. Okay guys, like I said, this is an XLT, but you're still going to get some really good amenities and features. Now, while you don't have push button start in the interior, you do have to use a key. You do have remote start here on the remote itself. So I'm going to stick the key in the ignition and just start it the old-fashioned way. So the interior does look nice and modern. It's nice and clean. It's not overloaded. Some of the higher level trim trucks have a lot more gadgets and features and things like that. And let me make sure that I'm not blowing you away with the fan here. Turn the fan speed down just a little bit so that you can hear me okay. I think we're good now, just want to be sure. But it's really a pretty simple interior. You do have steering wheel mounted controls. Everything's power, one touch up and down for your windows and all that good stuff, and a nice modern looking instrument cluster that you can go through and see so many different things that are going on with your truck, change different settings. It's just really nice. The typical modern amenities of today. A nice infotainment screen here in the center of the dashboard. You can go through and change a lot of settings, look at a lot of information, and do some customization. You have Apple CarPlay, but I didn't see Android Auto available. Bluetooth is available and Wi-Fi, and so many different modern day conveniences and settings that you are going to really enjoy, especially if you've never had something like this before. Now the steering wheel itself, nice and comfortable. It's not leather wrapped, but still a comfortable steering wheel, and you can do a lot with these steering wheel mounted controls, and you can control things here through the infotainment screen. Some of those very same things you can control here on the dashboard underneath the infotainment screen, such as the air conditioner and the radio. Now here on the bottom here of the console, the center console I should say, now there are a couple of USB ports there as well. I'll show you those on the screen. You do have several safety features, and you can turn these on and off. I'll list what those are on the screen. There's one thing I want to share here real quick. You do have the auto start stop feature, and if you're not familiar with that, for some people it can be a bit of a nuisance. When you come to a complete stop, the engine shuts off. When you take your foot off the brake and get ready to go again and hit the gas pedal, the engine's going to start back up and you can accelerate. If you want to turn that off, there is a button here to do that. But I have a little tip for you on that. If you find yourself not knowing where the button is to do that, and you're driving down the road maybe in an unfamiliar vehicle or something like that, I've discovered that you just have to pump the brake a couple of times when you're almost to a complete stop, and the engine will keep running. Just a nice little tidbit of information. Okay guys, I'm out here on the road with the 2020 Ranger, and the first thing that I have to say I notice is that the acceleration for a truck of this size is impressive. You're not going to be disappointed. I mean, obviously you're not trying to buy something that is a race car, so to speak, or a race truck. It's not a Raptor. But when it comes to merging into traffic, getting onto the interstate, passing a slower moving car, the Ranger is absolutely not going to struggle in that area. The transmission shifts nice and smooth. The steering is nice and responsive. The steering wheel itself is pretty comfortable. But I have to say, if this is something you're looking for, just the overall driving experience is good. And I realize that because I don't have good stabilization with my video camera on the tripod, it's going to seem like this is a really shaky, rough ride. But I have to say, for being a truck of this size, this Ranger does very, very well. In fact, I would imagine if you had a Ranger, of years gone by, the difference is definitely going to be noticeable in this Ranger compared to older Rangers, we'll say. Steering, acceleration, the overall ride quality. Obviously you have more room, but this is a smaller truck than, say, an F-150, and definitely anything larger than that. And so if you're looking for a truck that's going to be able to give you the versatility of a truck and be able to get you around and have some decent power to accelerate as you need to, I would say that this Ranger is definitely a very strong candidate. And it seems like we're in a familiar place now. We're going to end the video where we started it, right here at the back of the truck with the FX2 emblem on the 2020 Ford Ranger. I would like to thank my friends here at Orr Ford in Stonewall, Louisiana for being kind enough to loan me this truck for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out immensely as far as getting this video in front of more people. Leave me a comment and let me know that you are here, and tell me what you would like to see me feature on future episodes of Vehicle Visionary. Cars, trucks, what would you like to see? Tell me and I'll do my best to make it happen. And I will see you next time on Vehicle Visionary. Have a great day.